I want you to know I forgot everything you said after I heard Cat driving a fork.
Oh my goodness!
Oh my God!
Mercury Stardust. She's a beacon of hope in the darkest night. Mercury Stardust. She'll teach you how to make it all alright.
Yes, that was rocking.
I know, right? Hey,
That
guys,
was really
gals,
good.
and non-binary pals. How's it going, everyone? Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Maintenance is a Drag. We're one part educational, one part comedic, and 2 parts extremely gay. We are here taking phone calls and helping strangers on the internet, and also having a good time while meeting drag performers all around the country. And that being said, I have a good friend here today who I just met moments ago. The
Great
wonderful River Glass, everybody.
Hi.
Applause. Hey, River. First, tell me a little bit about yourself. Where are you from, River?
All right, so my name is River Glass. I'm a drag king. I'm based in Central Florida, good old Orlando. I know, prayers to me, but we're making it through. I also do a lot of cosplay, so I do a lot of I'm doing the Jujubee where I just do lots of cosplay, lots of drag. So I frequent a lot of the conventions here. I've been doing drag for I think 6 years now. Oh, that sounds
Whoa,
crazy
look
to say.
at you.
I know. I honestly got into this just because of, watching Dragula and drag shows, and I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. And then I realized that drag kings were a thing that you could do and be, and I was like, oh, so we're gonna be obsessed with this for the rest of my life. Okay, cool. So now I've just
I'm obsessed with your eyebrows right now. So
thank you.
your
This is how I
eyebrows.
usually do them.
Really? I love
Yeah,
that.
I am bold. So I actually shaved my eyebrows before I even started drag. I used to work at Sephora, and they encourage you to do whatever you want with your makeup. And there was one point where I was just like, my eyebrows are just in the way. Like, I'm just gonna shave them, and I just did, and I have no regrets. I have done no regrets. I love having no brows. So when I do on the daily, this is how I do it. So I just match the facial hair. So I'm like, gotta be
I've had so
spicy.
many friends over the years who have shaved their eyebrows, and
Yeah.
they look great. I feel like if I did it, I don't think it would look great.
And
I think it look
I
like I would think I would look like I'm in my 40s with my eyebrows shaved is what I think it would look like.
See, the thing is, what blew me away the most after I shaved my eyebrows, even when I don't wear them, like even if I don't have makeup or I just didn't wear eyebrows that day, I will be talking to someone, and halfway through the conversation, they'll be like, "Oh, you don't have eyebrows." And I'm like, "Yes, I haven't had eyebrows this whole time."
It's true.
And then I'm like, "Yeah, like Whoopi Goldberg," and then they go, "Whoopi Goldberg doesn't have eyebrows?" No.
Oh my
she
God,
doesn't.
Whoopi Goldberg
She's
doesn't
never
have eyebrows.
had eyebrows.
Never
And
had
you never
eyebrows.
noticed.
This whole time, Whoopi Goldberg
whole
has had
time.
no eyebrows.
No
Wow,
eyebrows.
You'll learn something new every day, guys.
Every
But,
single day. Yes.
You know what, River? You're worth the time it takes to learn that Whoopi
To
Goldberg
learn a new
doesn't have eyebrows.
skill. Listen.
That being said, do you want to help strangers on the internet?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Good. Let's get a call in because I'm excited today. We got a whole wonderful list of people we want to help. So let's call the first person.
Yeah.
All right. So for our first call, we have a text I'm going to read off to you before we call them.
Oh, we got a text, River.
Hello, Handy Ma'am
I
and
love that.
team. I'm a huge fan. My name is Desiree, and I'm desperate. I don't know if you've talked about anything like this before, but my cat scratched at the door frame to my bedroom, and I don't know how to fix it.
Ooh.
I told my landlord they were good babies, and I don't want him to know they're actually stinky little babies. I'm so embarrassed, and I've been so nervous to have him come to the apartment one day and see it. Thank you for taking the time to hear me out. and here's some photos for you.
Good. There better be a cat tax. Got to be a cat tax. That's
Cat
the
tax.
rule. If you talk about your kitty cat and you don't show me your kitty cat, canceled. Oh!
Yay!
Oh
Oh,
my
wow.
God!
Turtle shell.
Oh, what a
Cutie.
little jerk. So they have 3 cats. Oh my God.
Oh, big fluffy.
Oh, they have 3 kitty cats, and that's so cute. And they are 100% responsible for damage. Oh, an orange
Oh, if
cat.
you have an orange
That's-
cat, for sure, for
Oh,
sure.
I bet you the orange cat does the majority of the damage.
Yes, yes.
Do
God,
we
orange
have
cat.
a photo of the door? I think we do. Yes, we do. Oh my God. Oh, okay, yeah. Actually, that's not nearly as bad as I thought. That's not nearly as bad.
Yeah. I was expecting chunks, so I think we're doing great.
I was genuinely expecting like to be just humongous chunks
Just-
missing.
Yeah.
The fact that it's mostly surface, pretty good. Now I should ask you, River, do you have any experience in maintenance and that kind of thing, or no?
Not really. I'm in the school of let's figure it out. So, I kind of make it happen
There's-
if I have to, but
That is so queer of you.
yes. I'm like, I have to show
figure
up,
it out.
man. I gotta make it work. So I just,
That being said, are you a renter or you're a homeowner?
I'm a renter, unfortunately. And our apartment is pretty notorious for not showing up to fix our stuff in time. So a lot of the time
Yeah.
I end up fixing it. I just kind of like figure it out. Google's free,
Yeah.
or I see if you have a video. We'll see what somebody can teach me. And
100%,
usually it works
yeah.
out. Yeah. So.
Well, if you ever need help, I got a book called Safe and Sound: A Renter's Guide to Home Maintenance.
Yeah, I feel like gotta get on it.
Okay, do you want to help the person? Should we give them a call?
Yeah, let's give him a call.
Let's give them a call and see if we can fix this. Hi, Desiree. How's it going?
Hi, Mercury. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. It sounds like you've your doors have had better days.
Yes, they have definitely seen better days.
Okay, can I ask a quick question right out of the gate? My good friend River and I were wondering, is it the orange cat that's responsible for most of this?
Yes.
I knew it!
Yes, good. We called it.
Money. We should have put money on this, River.
Orange cat is always the culprit.
Yeah, always. I mean, honestly,
He's always the culprit. Yeah.
I just looked like he honestly looked like a drag queen, but he looked like the drag queen that came 25 minutes late, to call time and then expected to be treated well.
Yeah. Together, and he's like, okay, but like I'm still the best.
Yeah. He showed up after the show started and was just like, "Do we have time for me to put my makeup on?" Okay, so Desiree, let's get to it, huh? So now it appears that these are shallow scratches, right?
Yes.
Wonderful. Have you ever worked with anything called wood putty before?
No.
Okay, so wood putty is actually pretty affordable. Think of it as basically clay that can be stained. So you want to get stainable wood putty or wood filler.
Okay.
We have a whole big bucket here, and I think a bucket cost me like $10, and this is like huge, right? You don't need nearly that much. All you want to do, basically, I use my bare hands. I don't know if that's actually the correct way to do it, but you would just want to like take a putty knife or whatever and push it in there. You're just taking it, scooping it up,
Okay.
and pushing it in. You're just rubbing it in there to try to fill the cracks. Once it's dried up, you can gently take, like I would say anything around like 250 to 300 grit, probably sandpaper, and just lightly, feather it out. And then now, if you can try your best to find wood filler that is going to match the color, that's going to be the best. Because both me and River, when it comes to matching color and makeup and feathering shit out, we're pretty good at this, River.
I'm professional.
Yeah, we're a professional. We know what we're doing. I mean, River's way more professional than I am. I'm just some jackass on the internet. But
Valid.
Valid. But that being said, I think that if you do that, that might make it work. But do you feel comfortable doing that?
I'm willing to try anything. I wake up in the morning and I'm like, I don't need a man to tell me how to do things. I can learn anything that I need to learn from a man. I can learn from a woman.
Yeah.
So I think I could.
Yeah.
I think I could do this. I changed
You
the
can
light
do
switch
this.
by myself. I think I could.
You changed a light
putty a
switch
door.
by yourself? Way to go.
I did.
So you got
If you've
this.
done-
You got this.
Yeah. If you've done a light switch, you can do this. You can absolutely do this. I will say two things. A, with the thing we just told you with the wood filler, you're not going to make it look worse than what it is right now. You're just not. Like
Okay,
it might look discolored, it might not look like it matches, but it won't look worse than it is right now. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
God. So if that's the case, you're already kind of home free. You know, it can only get better. And here's the thing: the landlord. I looked at your photo and I could see that there is some trim that's kind of damaged, anyways. And there's like, I would say that your space has several landlord specials in it. Does it not? Yes. I will tell you, I could just tell by the kind of door you had, the kind of trim you had, the kind of paint that was used, and some of the paint being on the trim, that there's 100% landlord specials in that space. And because of that, they're not going to give a shit. honestly, like I will tell you that if this was an independent, this isn't an independent landlord, is it? Is it a complex?
No, it's not a complex. It's independent.
Is it independent? Fuck.
Damn.
They might care, but I will tell you that most of the time we don't. Like it's gonna cost more money to replace a jam for that repair than not. And if you'd fix it with a filler, even if it doesn't look great, it's gonna be fine. Do you know what I mean? So how long have you lived there for?
About 2.5 years.
Yeah, I think you're good.
Okay, I've already come to terms with the fact that we're not getting our deposit back. So...
I mean, I have been doing this for 17 years, and I gotta tell you, a very few people get their deposit back. However, I will tell you that my wonderful creative director, who is literally watching a stock right now, did not only get their entire deposit back, but got a letter thanking them for treating their space so good. I've never seen that. I've been doing this for 17 years. And fucking Basil literally got a letter from the landlord.
Of course it was Basil.
You guys are great. You guys are so good. But Desiree, that being said, I think we pointed you in the right direction. So I hope that helped you.
Yeah, you definitely helped me a lot. I was really nervous about this, but I'm feeling much better.
And also, as far as a landlord coming into your space and feeling like awkward about it, you won't be the only one. I feel awkward every time that a landlord comes into my space. I'm also a renter, you know, and it's just it's okay. It's a natural feeling, but also just know that this is an agreement amongst two adults who are working together in this space. Like, he wouldn't give his money if you're not in a good space. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know.
Right.
So like, I'm not too worried about it. Shit happens. He knows that you have cats, and you're always taking a risk when you are a landlord letting pets in. And if you are the kind of landlord that lets pets in, you should know that you're always rolling that dice. You know what I mean? Of what the damage could be. I would rather people have their animals and feel comfortable in their space than worrying about property, right? Property can be replaced, hearts can't. So, well, I mean, I guess a heart transplant exists, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, River.
Neither am I. It's okay.
Welcome to the Handy Bam hotline, where I give drywall and medical advice, apparently.
Yeah. Give your cats lots of pets for us.
I agree.
I will.
That's the best advice I've heard all day. So, way to go. Hey, Desiree, thank you for your wonderful message, and I hope you have a great day, okay?
Thank you so much.
Okay. It was so wonderful to talk to you. Good luck, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
You're great,
Bye.
Desiree. You're going to be great. Bye-bye. I think Desiree's going to be good. I think she's going to be fine.
Yeah, I think
I
so.
really do.
I think it's not as bad of a damage as we thought. And, it's an easy fix. She seemed confident.
Yeah.
She switched a light switch. Like, she's
I know,
fine.
right? Yeah, if you have the guts as a renter to be like, I'm going to change the light switch, I honestly think you're going to be fine. You know what I mean?
think
Like
you're
this
good. Yeah.
is less dangerous. It's way less dangerous than a light switch,
Way less
but it's
dangerous.
also way less work than a light
Yeah.
switch. So I think
Yeah.
okay. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. I don't think you're out of anything with this one. That being said, out of anything, do you want to see my last root beer that I have in the whole
Yes.
office? Okay, so we
Yes.
do a little segment on this podcast called the root beer of the week here.
Oh, yes. Good.
And I love root beer. I'm a big fan of root beer.
Okay.
If we are running out of root beer in the office and I want to try new ones, so if you have root beers out there that you want me to try, you need to mail them to my office that can be found
Okay.
on our website. Go to my website, mercurystardust.com, and you can contact us and send us root beer. I want
Local
root beer
beers.
from all around. Yeah, I want root beer from all around the world. Right now we have butterscotch root beer by Northern Soda Company.
Okay.
And it's a craft soda, so it's gonna probably be a little bit more creamy than my other kinds I've had. You know how I like my creamy, my creamy juice. Oh,
Don't
God,
we
why
all
did I
like
say
a little
that?
cream?
It was so funny. Before I started this podcast, I literally thought that I was gonna be like, this is gonna be like a PG show. What was I thinking?
No,
with Drag Kings especially, you mother flippers are dirty.
just a little.
The first episode, Landon came with so many dildo jokes.
Yes, good. Yes.
They had sex toy jokes written down before we started.
Of course, you gotta pull them out. Okay, when am I gonna pull out the dick jokes?
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Here's the first sip here. Oh boy, I hate that.
Oh
That is such a
Immediately
man.
no.
Oh
Not
man, I hate. The thing is, I knew I wasn't gonna like this one because I hate butterscotch. Do you like butterscotch?
Yeah. It's an intense flavor. It's like a lot.
It is. It's too much. It's like it's so many flavors in my mouth at one time, and
like-
I don't know. I don't want that much in my mouth at one time.
Yeah, PG, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, PG. This is definitely
So
PG.
good.
show.
So good.
I want you to know my entire team is looking at me with disapproval eyes right now.
Sorry, can't help it.
Every time that I have a root beer on the show, regardless if I like it or not, I drink the whole thing. I don't know why.
Yeah, you're like, I can't waste it. It's already open.
I think what this is I have like that farm kid mentality where we weren't allowed to leave the dinner table until every mashed potato, every piece of corn was eaten.
Yeah, I
will
also
tell you
grew up
though,
on a farm.
Did you really?
Yes,
Wow.
in Puerto Rico. Yeah.
What kind of farm was it?
So it was my grandfather's farm in Puerto Rico. So he had like a ton of chickens. Like I think he had like almost 1,000 chickens. He had like a really big hen house, and he has cattle, but it was like not cattle for milk. It was cattle for meat. So he would sell them at some point. He had pigs at one point, but he basically supplied a lot of like produce to the like local stores and stuff. So
Yeah.
I grew up with that mentality also, where you're like, this is food that we grew, you better eat all of it. And you're like, okay, all right.
Yeah. You're basically like strapped to the dinner room table.
You're like, oh, you're not gonna finish this? No, I don't think so.
For real. Hey there, hi. Sorry for the interruption, but today we gotta talk about our sponsor, iFixit. They fight for your right to repair things, and they make some pretty cool tools in the process, like this wonderful magnetic workboard. It's where you can keep all your screws or your washers when you're working on a tiny project, like vacuums or your laptop or a cell phone. You name it, they got it. And this makes sure that you're not going to lose any of your bits. And I think that's a pretty good thing. If you want to learn more, you can go to ifixit.com and see all the wonderful things that they do there. And remember, don't take broken for an answer. Bye-bye. How'd you get involved in drag, River?
So, the truth of it is, I had watched RuPaul's for a while, and I was like, okay, that's fun. But I watched it more as I'm just watching the show. This is entertaining. Um, and then I watched Dragula, and first of all, I saw like the alt kind of drag, and I was like, okay, I'm interested in that. And then I
Yeah.
saw Landon Cider, and I was like, you can do that? You could do that? And immediately I was like, had the show on a loop, that season specifically on a loop, and I was just like doing drag in my room, like, this is awesome. So I was that the rest has been history. I have not stopped since. So
Were you a professional makeup artist before you started drag?
yes, I was doing, so this was around like late 2019, 2020. So I had been doing like professional makeup for about 4 or 5 years at that point. So it was kind of, and I've been doing cosplay for like 10 years. So I was like, it was an
Oh,
easy
wow.
transition to get into it because I was like, okay, this feels like familiar. Like I know how to do makeup in a certain way and I know how to pull a character together. So it was kind of like, it just fit really well and it just felt right. So
The non-binary cosplay human to drag king pipeline is fucking real.
insane.
It is
It's
so
insane.
insane.
It's like that same, like, I don't know, energy where you're like, okay, I'm gonna dress up as someone else and it's gonna be
Yeah.
awesome and we're gonna run around and be crazy and dance around and that's awesome.
I
Like,
love it. I love
yeah,
it. Every
it's good.
single time. Cosplay drag kings or cosplay drag performers, amazing every time.
Yes, I love them. I
I
love
think
them.
I love that. I used to run a weekly burlesque show here in tropical
Nice.
Madison, Wisconsin. We had a wonderful drag performers every week as well. And the thing that I always said that the weirder the better. And
Yes.
my firm philosophy when it comes to drag and it comes to performance in general is that we are the conduit for the audience to find themselves.
Yes.
And I think that if you're what is the point of doing this type of performance, burlesque or drag, if it's not about individuality and about expressing our true selves? And
Yeah.
I think there's two philosophies of drag that are competing currently. And one of them is a caricature of femininity, and one is a caricature of gender, and another is a self-expression of oneself and individuality.
Mhm.
And I am very much more interested in the latter than I am the former. But I
Yeah.
respect the former, really love the latter.
Yes.
And as a trans person myself, I found myself because of these art forms.
Yes.
And there's such a fond respect I have for these things that it can really help people be who they are, you know?
Yeah, I feel that
That
100%.
Welcome to Mercury Soapbox, brought to you by Butterscotch Root Beer. It tastes kind of
Yes.
bad, to be honest.
No.
I swear to God, no root beer company will ever sponsor this show. They're
'Cause you're
gonna
like, this is
be
bad.
they're gonna be way too scared. They're gonna be like, I can't trust her. I will take a Barks root beer sponsorship if they just give me lifetime supply of Barks root beer. I don't need your money, Barks. I just want the
want the
fuel.
root beer. I
Barks
just want the
had
root
fight.
beer.
It's the only root beer that I won't find a way to poop on.
That's fair. That's fair.
Okay, River, are you
Yes.
ready for the next question?
I'm prepared.
Yes, let's go for it.
236, 237, 238. What's that? Oh, I'm not counting how many federal lawmakers are also landlords, but that's exactly the sort of astute observation I'd expect from someone calling the Handy Ma'am hotline. But no, I'm just counting my way through the stud file. 239, 204. Wait. Rudolph Valentino? Some people may call their escapades a body count. Others may carve out a notch on the bedpost. But to Samuel Steward, recounting his various exploits wasn't just for personal pleasure, it was for science! And that's why he kept a meticulous, alphabetized card catalog of every sexual partner he ever had. Check under W for Wilder, please. Ah, yes, that's Thornton Wilder, thank you. Can't wait to see that part of our town. Our man Sam actually went by many names. If you were looking for the professor at a Catholic university in Ohio who is also a published novelist, you'd have looked up Samuel M. Steward in the staff directory. But if you stumbled into a hole-in-the-wall tattoo shop in Oakland, you'd find Doc Sparrow tattooing the Hells Angels. The gay pulp fiction writer that had his fans clamoring for more was Phil Andros, and the writer slinging hot articles in underground magazines and newspapers was Ward Stames. Ugh. And I thought having just one dead name was exhausting. See, while Steward may have grown up the son of devout Ohio Methodists, he envisioned a different path for his life. He started off as a novelist and a professor of English, but his milquetoast life took a drastic turn when he met Alfred Kinsey in 1948. And if that name sounds familiar, that's because Al's the guy who made what we call the Kinsey scale, that helpful slope that helps you recognize how gay, or straight, I guess, you are on a scale from 0 to 6. See, Sam took a look at Kinsey's groundbreaking report on human sexuality when it was published, and he realized he had some very important research contributions to add. You know, for science. With renewed purpose, Samuel went above and beyond to reinvent himself. He left academia and took up tattooing, settling in on the West Coast, but never settling down. Between appointments tattooing the infamous Hells Angels and brushing elbows with my hero, Hunter S. Thompson, oh, Captain, my Captain, Steward would crank out pulp fiction novels of dubious authenticity under the name Phil Andros, but his work never got in the way of his moonlighting as a pioneer of bedroom research. His card catalog of exploits, dubbed the Stud File, had 746 cards, each one dedicated to a single sexual partner. That is 746. Look, if I went into any more detail, we would have a whole episode dedicated to our man Sam here, and we'd probably get demonetized. So you'll just have to check out the biography Secret Historian by Justin Spring to get all the details I had to leave on the cutting room floor. And as the boss lady likes to say, you're worth the time it takes to learn a little history. Here's Mercury.
Hi, Mercury. My name is Demi, she, her, and I bought my first home a little over 2 years ago and finally feel ready to take the plunge and do home improvement stuff. My house was built in the 1930s and was a rental previously, and I've started stripping paint from the kitchen cabinet doors, and there's like 8 landlord special layers of paint on these bad boys. The insides of the cabinets are all painted too, and I can't remove the shelves on the insides because they're painted or caulked in. How would you recommend removing all of the inside paint and glue? Because I can't get a sander in there really. And they're original to the house, so I don't want to do any damage. And after removing everything, do you recommend painting a layer of kills on the inside or just leaving the wood bare? I do not want to do any unnecessary stuff because they're original cabinets and I don't want to hurt the house any. So thank you. Appreciate you. Love you. Bye.
For the audio only listeners, I was laughing, not because of the question, but because we are seeing photos right now of what they're dealing with. And boy, this is some thick. When they say 8 layers, holy cow, it is wow. And that's that's at least that looks like a satin pant too. Like looks like it has some of a gloss to it. So boy, this is gonna be fun. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna say, everything I'm gonna say is you're gonna need to wear a respirator because you're gonna have to sand this down with an overder sander or a Dremel in some way, shape, or form, and that's gonna be a lot of dust in the air. So the first thing they're gonna need to do. Oh, by the way, I should say we tried calling them and it didn't work. So they're not available for a phone call. We're gonna answer this anyways.
Yeah.
I'm so good. You know, River, I'm really good at my job.
You're incredible at your job. What are you talking about?
River. Again, I am the trans handyman, not the trans IT lady. I say this all the time.
There you
If
go.
you're expecting me to figure all this out in the first 5 episodes, no, not gonna happen. You know how hard it was for me to figure out how to tuck for the first time. That was an experience. Anyways, so we're talking about cabinets. Okay. Have you ever worked with like getting paint off of wood or anything like this or no? Have you ever have any experience?
No, I actually haven't. We haven't had to strip anything. We've stained a couple stuff, but I haven't had to strip anything crazy like that.
Yeah, and if it's this thick too, it's
Yeah.
you're gonna take some pieces you don't want with you. Yeah, it's real thick, and I would say it's worth it. So you know what I mean? It's underneath there, and if you can get it underneath there, it's gonna look pretty cool, but it might be pretty damaged. So we'll see. But here's what you can try. Um, you're gonna want to get an orbital detail sander. So they're like little angled dudes that kind of like go in there, and they're gonna make it a lot easier for you to get in a 90-degree grooves, you know. And if you're not able to get right up in there, then you need a Dremel and an angled detailed orbiter sander. Those are the ones I would get. You can get them. You can get a detail sander probably for a little bit of a rental fee at Home Depot or Lowe's, so it shouldn't be terrible. I would say just invest in it, though. You're probably going to need it. I would say just invest in it. If you're a homeowner, go for it. Boy, you know these conversions from landlord special rentals to homes, wild. Like every time we get a call, every time I see one of these, every time that a friend moves into one of these places, trying to convert them back is wow. The work is wild. Trying to make them feel like a home. I think the thing that is so frustrating is that like I just don't know why you would paint it. I just
Yeah.
don't know why.
Like, what's the deal
I
there?
just it never looks good. It never looks good. And the only reason you would do it is just to make it easier for you to try to make it look plain and brand new and get that new paint smell and all that thing that either tricks people into thinking it's a nice place or a decent place to sign a lease. But it's not great. You know what I mean?
It's
Like
not. It doesn't
it's
look good
not.
either.
It looks bad, but now that's going to take you a lot of elbow grease, a shoot ton of elbow grease. I like how I just censored myself as if I haven't been swearing the entire time. Uh, but it's going to take a lot of elbow grease. So then my last thought is this. Um, once you are able to get all of it off, the way that you can make that wood look better is Restore Finish is the name of the brand. Restore Finish. Spelled exactly like it sounds. Restore Finish is probably like $9 a gallon, maybe $8 like a gallon. It's pretty reasonable, and it goes on like stain. You should find the right coloration, right? This one said walnut on it, but you might have like golden oak. You might have like something else that's completely out. You might have gunsmoke. You know what I mean? Like you might have something that's a little bit different. So you want to make sure you test the area and see if it's going to work. And here's what I usually do to make it look decent. I always use pre-stain. Do you know what
Oh.
pre-stain is?
No. Is it like a primer?
Pre-stain, yeah, kind of like a primer. It's like a clear primer, if anything. What it does, it just distributes the coloration from the stain or the finish, and it makes it look a little bit more smooth or a little bit more like not blatchy. And then I just use a rag. I like using a rag to apply a finish. I don't know what you've used before, but I like to use that. That being said, it's a lot of elbow grease. It's a lot of work. It's going to be real messy. You're going to get. I mean, if this is not just it wasn't just the cabinets. It was like everything, right?
Everything.
Yeah,
Everything.
and like all the
Shelves.
cabinets. So it's going to be a huge job. It's not. I would say pace yourself.
Yeah.
Uh,
Holy
do
cow.
not expect this will be,
No.
I'm done in 1 weekend. This is not a weekend
No.
warrior.
No.
This is a month. This is a month. This is
Yeah.
like if you do this, if you just block off a whole week, right? And you went for this like 24/7 and you went with it, I think this is like a pretty good 30-hour job. It's gonna be intense because I don't even know because you know how many times your sanding pad is gonna gum up. It's gonna gum up real fast.
Yeah.
It's so many layers that once you start working into it, it's gonna block up your sander, and it's going to make it almost inoperable at some point, and you're not gonna be able to get much out of it. So you're gonna need to use a lot of sanding pads and a lot of replacements for your Dremel.
Is there a way to like scrape it off?
I mean, you could try. So the reason why I have not said stripper, the reason why I have not is because I can't stand anything that is going to try to peel away stuff with chemicals. It just doesn't. It doesn't work really well. There's so many fumes with it. You got to be in a well ventilated area. It damages the wood. Yeah, it damages the wood most of the time. Most of the time, it can make things a little easier. And if you do your due diligence, you might be able to find something that's gonna help you. But I don't know. I wouldn't
It's a
trust
lot,
it.
yeah.
I would elbow grease it and just go with it and bear down and just pave through the best I can. But again, you might actually spend a lot more money and time on this than you would to replace them. That's my own opinion.
I'm so
Okay,
curious.
the next question we got here is going to involve a garbage disposal. So I brought my good old friend Disposy. Good old friend Disposy, everybody. Disposy looks a little bit weird. Disposy's been just dusty as all hell.
Dusty Disposy.
Dusty Disposy, this being said here, hopefully this can kind of help us get a visual aid to how garbage disposals work. And we can kind of go from there. Have you worked with garbage disposals a lot or no?
I have fed lots of things into them. And I did fix one technically, but really what it was is that there was a tiny spoon stuck in there. So that was
really?
it. Yeah, it was like one of these little guys. Yeah.
Do you have a garbage disposal right now in your rental?
Yes, I do. Yes, we do.
Okay, cool. Good.
Yeah, luckily we haven't had too many problems.
I'm ready to call. Disposy's ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I am so ready to read you this message.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Hi, Mercury. I'm having a garbage disposal crisis. It turns on and hums, but the blades won't move, and the reset button does little but push me closer to insanity. Also, I don't have a home cat, but I do have a work cat that I call One-Eyed Willie.
What?
He's very professional and drives a forklift.
Shut up.
Please advise if you can.
Shut up.
Thank you, and lots of love from Arizona, Amanda.
I want you to know, Amanda, I forgot everything you said after I heard cat driving a fork.
Oh my goodness!
Oh my God! What?
He looks like my kitty.
Oh my God! One-Eye Willie. Oh,
One-Eye Willie. Oh,
Willie.
One-Eye.
I think it's a crying shame that cat does not have an eye patch. I'm just saying. Can you imagine like
Pirate
a white
cat.
eye patch with like the skull and crossbones and just looking like a badass pirate? Come on! That cat needs to be a pirate. And
Pirate cat.
Pirates are gay. Pirates are gay.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah, I'm just saying pirates
Historically,
are gay.
yes.
Yeah, historically, pirates are gay. Let's give him a ring a ding ding. Hey there, hi. How's it going, Amanda?
I'm good. How are you?
We're doing pretty good over here. I have so many questions, but I got to start with One-Eye Willie. Okay, why does he not have an eye patch, and can it be a white eye patch with a skull and crossbones? Is that possible?
As soon as I gain his trust, I will put an eye patch on him, but I'm working on it.
Okay, yeah. Okay, bring him Churu. If you don't know what Churu is, learn. And you need to bring him Churu, and every day for the next 10 years of his life, I need you to be friends with him so he can eventually become a pirate.
Yeah, so a few weeks ago, because this has been an ongoing issue, I turned it on, it hums, the blades won't move, and the reset button does nothing.
Yep. Okay. The garbage disposal is sadly dead. The humming is the humming of death. And it means it's not gonna go. You know what I mean? There's nothing that mortar isn't clicking. And from the did you send us a photo? I don't think you did, right? Of the garbage disposal?
No, just of the cat.
Yeah, but
Perfect.
Priorities. That being said, though, are you a renter?
Yes.
Yeah. Chances are this is gonna be probably what do I got here? This is probably gonna be half powered, probably horsepower, which means it's probably gonna be somewhere between $75 to repair. I don't think it would be a big deal to ask your landlord. Do you live in a complex or do you live in uh an independent place?
Yeah, it's a privately owned
Oh,
condo, so
okay.
I'd have to go through them, and so far they have not been very receptive or helpful, but
How
I will
much
find a way.
how much do you use the garbage disposal?
Well, when it worked, quite a bit.
Quite a bit, yeah. Okay, so here's the few. You're doing everything right. Like the reset button is good. You could try putting an Allen key underneath it into the slot and twisting it
Mhm.
left and right. And it might jar something loose, but typically that humming noise is not great. But it depends. So you're gonna give this a try, and if it works, oh, by golly, you're in a good place. So yeah, you put the Allen key wrench, just like in the photo we just saw, right into the slot, and we'll go back and forth while it's off and unplugged, and then that you
Mhm.
usually jar it loose. Is there anything in there that is like blocking it or catching the blades?
Not that I can see. I cleared out the sink and I shined a flashlight down in the drain, and all I can see are the blades. And I made sure everything was unplugged, and I put my hand in there, and there was nothing that I could feel that was blocking anything.
Okay. Yeah, and you felt like all the grooves and all the slots. You felt that, huh?
Around the sides, yeah.
Yeah, I do think this is gonna be a place where you replace the garbage disposal.
I feel like if it's somewhere you're gonna be for a while, then like might as well just bite the bullet and do it, especially if you use it a lot. But if you're like, I'm kicking it out of here in like a few months, less than a year, I'm not bothering with this. So I'd just be
Yeah,
like, well, I guess we're throwing shit out.
yeah, and honestly, I kind of agree with that assessment. Like, if
Yeah,
you're gonna be there for a couple of years, I would say maybe,
might as well do it.
because again, there's a lot of tutorials online. It's not terrible to do.
Yeah. Plus,
Mhm.
you can
It,
always just be like, hey, reimburse me for this. Like I took care of it, but like give me the $100 or something. Like,
definitely could
Right.
attempt that with an independent landlord. You
right.
might actually get away with that one. Yeah, that I think you're doing everything right. You're doing everything right. It sounds good. You get the catcher's a lifesaver. I will say
Yeah.
that's something that I do with garbage disposals, and I always tell people is that always think of it as a garbage disposal is consuming something. So you always
Mhm.
think about it. What's easier? Eating a burger and chewing it as you're eating it, or shoving it all in your mouth and taking a big bite. You know what I mean? Like, what's easier,
That's a good
right? It's
analogy.
chewing it is
Mhm.
way easier, right? Than just trying to
Right.
swallow it whole. And that is what you're doing if you put everything in the garbage disposal and then turn it on. So,
Right.
you're choking the garbage disposal, and that's when things like this could happen. You know,
Mhm.
that's when you're blowing the mortar because the mortar is working harder than it can. Um,
Mhm.
but I actually tell people all the time, put ice cubes down it.
Yeah.
You can put ice
Yes.
cubes down a garbage disposal. The only thing you don't want to do is fill it with ice cubes and then turn it on. I've seen people do that multiple times and then say things like, "Oh, I saw this on the internet and it doesn't work." Well, guys, if you
Well,
fill it with
don't choke it.
yeah, I mean, a
Right.
cold ice cube is a rock, guys. So you should, a couple ice cubes at a time with some water and lemon juice will clean it out real good. Some orange peels really do a great job with spicing it up and also sharpening the blades. All that stuff is good. The ice is really good because it sharpens your blades and it also knocks around inside. So if there's any like rotting meat or anything that's on the sides or the corners of your garbage disposal, it knocks it right out. So handy dandy
Okay.
right there. I hope that helped.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely learned a lot. I learned today that you could technically suffocate your garbage disposal. That was new.
And
Only
you
with his
also
consent.
learned that all pirates were gay cat pirates. All of them were.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Blackbeard was definitely a tabby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone thought he was a black cat. No, he was a tabby, guys.
Tabby.
Okay, I want to say thank you so much for asking that question. I hope you have a wonderful day.
Thank you, everybody, so much. You guys are all lovely. Have a wonderful day
Yeah.
yourself.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye bye.
you. Bye.
Wowie wow. I tell you, garbage disposals. I tell you, one of the worst inventions. Like I think fundamentally makes sense. And people in UK, I only know this because when you're on the internet and you show things on the internet, you hear this from other countries and residents of other countries constantly. Like I want you to know that the number one thing that Germans make fun of us for is that we have cardboard houses, drywall. They call drywall cardboard houses all the time. And I only know that because every time I post about drywall, every single time, there's a German in the comment section being like, "Oh, we should have concrete walls." And I'm like, "Yeah, okay. Good for you. Good for you, Heinrich. Good for you." Jackass. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the people from the UK, from the United Kingdom, every single time you talk about a garbage disposal, someone would be like, "You put blades in your sink?" Like, they're like, "Why would you put knives in your sink?" It's so funny. It's so there are some people who have garbage disposals in the UK, but majority of people, it's very uncommon to see it. And it's just such a goofy idea because also I think what happens is people think that it becomes a magical go away hole and that you can put a lot down it and it just goes away. But it's going to connect with the same pipes that your toilet and the same pipes that your washer, the same pipe that everything connects to what is called a stack. And that will block up if you got enough things that are all going down there. And, all because it's in the garbage disposal doesn't mean it automatically grinds it down to a dust. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It,
It
it,
just
it-
cuts
it's
it.
pieces. It's pieces. And sometimes it's much larger than you think,
Yes.
and that can cause problems. So just be mindful of that. But yeah, that being said, that was the last question of the day, River.
Woo.
You have been a
Um,
wonderful guest.
Thank you. Can I leave you with a cat? Because he's trying to get out, so I have to go show
You
him
gotta
to
leave.
you.
Yes,
I
100%.
mean, hold on. What do you want? You want to go out? I know you want to go out. But I'm gonna
This
show
is now
you
the
to
cat
the door.
cast. Thank you for coming to this week's cat cast. We learned that One Eye Willie was indeed a pirate and
He's
a
like
cat.
oriental short
Oh
hair,
my
so he
God!
looks
No
kind of
way!
silly. Look at him.
Shut up. That's not a cat. That's an alien. You got an alien on
I
your
know,
lap.
right? He's like a little
River.
guy. He hates it.
You've been. This is the first encounter. Wow.
This is him, yeah. He's
What's his name?
his name is Dalen, but we call him Mr. Baby. He
Mr.
is yeah, Mr. Baby. What's up? He's
The
like,
look.
let me.
The look. He's like, they call me Mr. Baby.
It's time to go.
So cute.
Yeah, he's great. He's technically my girlfriend's cat, but he's our cat.
Yeah,
He's
that's
a
how
little
that
sassy
works.
man.
When you start a relationship, all the animals on our ears.
Yeah, those are your babies. Those are everybody's babies.
River, it has been a pleasure to meet you today. What a
Likewise.
great time. You are just a blast, River.
You are
Um,
too. Listen, every time I hear your laugh, I laugh because it's just so good.
Stop! Why is that gonna make me laugh? Hey, River, if my audience loves you, and I'm sure they will, where can they find you on the good old fashioned internet?
Well, you can find me on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook, and YouTube, all under Riverglass or King Riverglass, one or the other. But yeah, I'll be out there doing some shenanigans. Yeah, come check me out.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. I
You.
appreciate this time. It was great. I'm happy that we helped a whole bunch of strangers on the internet. And remember,
Yes.
everybody, you're worth the time it takes to learn a new skill.
skill.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Still be you. She'll teach you how to